right, everybody out there in YouTube land, this is your t-shirted historian, and I'm coming at you live with something new. I'm calling this DisCussion, or DC'scussion, if you want to call it. But yeah, basically, I don't know DC for jack, really. I mean, it's like, I've read the comic books here and there. I've kept up with some of the storylines here and there, but really, I'm kind of a novice when it comes to DC Comics. So the best way I've always heard to learn is to go to experts and people who know more than you do. And so for that, I have enlisted the help of my buddies, 24/7 Fusion Media and Pop Culture Minefields, Keith. So
hey.
Here's how we're going to do it, man. All right, so 24/7 is a big comic book collector. And Keith, I know you probably already got all these issues, so I'm going to let 24/7 pull out his collection, and you guys can have a discussion about how this goes, and I'll ask questions here and there where I can.
Well, actually, I would like to pick up where Keith has left off, because right before, just let everybody know, right before we started, Keith was saying, he was actually speaking upon how he felt about DC and what it was as a young man, getting into it and seeing everything that DC Comics was about. And I was actually interested in his story, because I feel the exact same way. I've collected DC and Marvel, but the thing is, it was something about DC that was always just a little different. And not take nothing away from Marvel, but DC it's something about it just. I don't know, and it has to do with everything. It has to do with the old Batman TV shows. It has to do with all the old movies. It has to do with the comic books, the toys, the cartoons. This is so much that adds to, if you're a true comic book collector, there's a lot that that comes with just respecting the comic books. It was all the other things that were surrounded the comic books that were also influencing your love for the superheroes, which were like the games and the toys and just all the different things. And it was just I wasn't I wasn't born around the same time, but even being born a lot later, I still, I understood, like we still had that. It's like, it's different now. It's like basically what we had, like we had like the Mego toys, and we had, of course there was like Super Friends and the Superpowers, and it was just all the different toy lines. It was just a unique thing going from, from the 70s, I had an older brother that passed a lot of this stuff down to me, introduced me to Crisis and Secret Wars and just seeing comic books evolved from the old team ups of the Justice League and the Justice Society of America and just and again from Crisis on Infinite Earths, and shit, that changed the game up right there, and totally. And from there, what did we get? We got like War of the Gods that came in after that, and you were trying to like incorporate new beginnings for heroes, and then it just seemed like it was a lot of course it was the reboots and I know for one, I love the multiverse, so I've kept up with again, Crisis on Infinite Earths, War of the Gods, Cosmic Odyssey. We can go from Armageddon 2001. I mean, it was just so many, like the summer crossovers and the regular crossovers that happened.
Okay, well, 24/7. Where you want to start, man? Where you want to start? Keith is itching.
I don't know, actually, man. Keith is the one that got me started. Just listening to him, he got me worked up.
But, well, look. You have a company.
Right.
Founded by a man by the name of Malcolm Wheeler Nicholson, aka the Major. Okay, right. He actually served. He was a military guy who is the father of modern comic books.
Right.
Okay, comic books prior to what the Major had was literally taking comic strips out of newspapers and putting them on a page and putting it in a book.
Right.
That was what comics were. What the Major did that was different, and what makes him the father of modern comics, is that he was the first to put original stories in there, rather than taking things that had previously been seen someplace else and just kind of putting them in a book. It's all new, so that when you bought that issue, when you bought that comic book, you were getting all new stories, all new characters. And so with putting DC together, I have always thought of DC as being the home of heroes.
Yeah.
For heroes. Meaning that these are all the characters that the Marvel characters grew up reading.
Yeah, that's true.
And these, and as for both good, for good and for ill, because there's so much history to all of these characters. And Hollywood getting involved in all of this changed the game. Okay? Once you get to 1941, which I think was when the first comic book movie came out, and that was Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I have that. I have the Captain Marvel cereal. I have that on DVD. Actually, it's sitting right here next to me. Like I can open up the box and pull it out and be like, look.
Yeah. Now you know the story behind that movie.
Actually, I don't know.
The story is that the company that actually made that film had gone out and bought all of this material. They were setting themselves up to do big things, and what they wanted was they wanted the rights to make a Superman movie, because Superman was all the rage, having come out in 1938, and the book was selling left, right, and center, right. So they approach DC Comics, then known as National Comics, and asked, hey guys, we bought all this equipment, we can make them fly, we can do all this incredible stuff, give us the rights to this character so we can start making movies. And they almost went with them, and then they changed their minds. They decided to hold out for a better offer.
Wow.
And so in not doing that, the people behind that particular studio decided to go for the character that was the #2 best-selling character. And I think for 1 or 2 years actually was beating Superman comics also, which was Captain Marvel, Shazam. And that's how that movie came about.
And it's interesting. It's interesting you said that, Keith. My father is from Cuba, and he has told me, see, there you go. On more than one occasion, he has told me that Captain Marvel comics are what he grew up reading, not Superman.
Well, those were big. Those were, oh man, I mean, it was a battle between the both of them at the racks for kids. And they both did amazing out there, but Superman got just the better of Captain Marvel because he went on to become successful. And this is the other thing that DC has over Marvel. I'm not saying this to say anything bad or to demean Marvel at all. It's all about timing. Okay. And at this point, what was popular for people was not only just film, but radio.
Oh, yeah.
And Superman became very, very popular on radio. I mean, very popular on radio, to the point where many of the things that became a part of the Superman comic book mythos was actually because of radio. Stuff like Kryptonite.
Oh, yeah.
All due to the radio show and how popular that show was.
Man.
So you're talking a live action movie. You're talking an animated Fleischer Brothers cartoon. You're talking the Columbia serials.
Oh yeah.
And all that, along with Action Comics, Superman comics. All of that goes towards how popular this character and how popular DC would become. And with Batman coming along in 1939 and eventually having his own serials and the
Yeah.
popularity
I have
of
those
these
too.
films. Yeah, you see, those are all. I think those are all in the public domain.
Right.
Side note: I got a chance to meet Johnny Duncan, who was Robin in the second set of serials.
Oh.
He came to an event that I was running. I was running a convention in my hometown,
Oh.
and he contacted us and wanted to set up a booth. I found out who he was. I couldn't get enough of this dude because not
imagine.
only was he Robin,
Right.
but it had his bio in there. He retired from making movies. He made a lot of movies during his time in Hollywood. And the final film he made before he retired was Spartacus.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So I was just asking him questions left, right, and center.
Right.
How was it to be in that movie? I mean, it's like
Jeez.
Right.
Spartacus, man. You know. Anyway,
24/7. What do you got for us today? What do you got for us?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm loving this shit here. Damn. Actually, let me ask something, Keith. Are you a fan of Green Lantern?
Oh, of course.
What about
I love
Alan
it all.
Scott?
Love Alan Scott. OG Green Lantern. I wish they would do justice for him as far as Hollywood, and his story would be amazing. Oh.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I'm about to scoop up Infinite Frontier #1. I got Zero sitting here next to me, but
Watch out, this.
yeah, I just have to. But this is something that I know like Fat Steven have seen, but in case you haven't seen this before, this is the 50th anniversary of Green Lantern, issue 19. It's actually from 1991, and it's autographed by Martin Nordell himself, the creator of Green Lantern.
Oh,
Wow.
And I don't know if you see it in the middle.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. You can
Look
see
at that art.
there you go. There you go. That's
Wow.
And
Man.
he autographed it back in 1991. In case anybody doesn't know, he died in 2006. So, man, he's been around for a long time, and this is the certificate of authenticity right here.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and Keely Chow's got something for us out there. His daughter's going to be in
Keely
season 2
Chow.
of Stargirl.
Roll tight, my boy Keely Chow, man. Yeah, but yeah, that's dude, Martin Nordell, man, the creator of Green Lantern, man. It's to have this, man. It's
that goes in a place of honor no matter what.
exactly
Between him and Bill Finger, Gardner Fox, and really the entire. It's hard not to be a fan of Batman.
right.
That entire team that Bob Kane put together that was concentrating on Batman from 1939 to at least 1950. That was a murderer's row of talent. I mean, talent, just killing with that book, which is what made what happened in the 60s so sad, because the success of the television series was killing the character in comics. But without that, we never would have gotten Neil Adams and Denny O'Neil coming in to revamp the character and changing comics as we know it with what they did.
Hey, I tell you what, speaking of him, you know who autographed this is?
That's Neil Adams.
There you go.
Love the man. I've met him twice.
Oh yeah, man. I met him, and I met his son Joel.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that he draws for King of the Hill. That's Actually, I got a lot of autographed art pieces from him, man. And this was 2 years ago. I'm in Houston, so we went to I hear we have Comic Palooza, which is actually coming up this coming weekend, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe but it's I'm getting the emails talking about how it's coming up, and I went 2 years ago, which was actually the year before the Coof, and we were there. The first person I met was was Neil Adams. I seen him, and then while I was sitting there, I was looking at the Green Lantern, Green Arrow comic books, the old retro ones. It's funny because I got a whole stack of them sitting here next to me, and it's funny because Neil Adams was sitting there in front of me, and we were talking about. I was telling my daughter how important these comic books are, and how much they were just they were a book of the times. It's like, dude, you'd be surprised when you look at an old comic book how much it reflects on the era and the decade that it came out. And I was just telling her, like we were looking at the Speedy cover where they both found out that he was doing drugs or whatever. And Neil Adams is sitting there listening to me, and I'm talking to him, and this guy taps me on the back, and there's like four people started surrounding me when I'm trying to tell my daughter about how important Neil Adams and his comic books are to history and to people that collect comic books. And the guy taps me on my shoulder, and I turn around and he's like, "Hey, you like Neil Adams?" I said, "Shit, I love Neil Adams." He's like, "Well, would you like to meet his son Joel?" And I turned around, and Joel waved at me, and he was like, "Come here." And I was like, "Oh shit!" Their booths were right next to each other, and I guess he must have heard me talking about his dad. And Neil was sitting there smiling, and so I go over there to talk to Joel Adams, and he's like, "Hey, this is Joel Adams," and we shake his hand, and we took pictures with him, and he had this art where he had the '66 Batman drawn King of the Hill style with Burt Ward, Adam West in full Batman attire, suited up, and they're standing around the Batmobile. So Batman's talking to Hank, and then you see all the other guys, and Robin's there, and it's like they're all sitting there, but it's like a Batman King of the Hill deal, but it's the '66 Batman. He sat there and autographed it. He's the one that drew it, and he was selling copies of just it was like reprinted art that he did. He was selling them for like $15-20 a thing, but me and my daughter bought all of them, and he gave us a discount and autographed everything. So wow, man, we walked out of there, man, and that was the first time I ever been to a comic book convention. So I met him, and then as I'll take a couple feet further, I see Dan Jurgens.
Oh wow,
man,
boy, and he was, and I walk up to him, he's drawing Booster Gold.
Oh, I love Booster,
man. I'm sitting here and I'm looking at him, and he's just finishing, and he's like, "Hey, I'm getting ready to go," and I'm the last person that he saw. And I was like, and I told my daughter, I said, "This Dan Jurgens," I said, "Baby, he drew some of the most, and so basically I'm telling her, who he is, and he sat there and he smiled and he said, "Man, I wish I could sit here longer and talk to you." He gave some big dude was bigger than me. I'm 6'3", 345, and this dude was taller, bigger than me, and you could tell he was a security dude. He went and he got Dan Jurgens' booster. It really looked like some old. It could have been like a drug deal. It was so weird. Dan Jurgens he gives the guy the drawing. He says, "Tell him he owes me $300, and I'll pick it up by 3:00 tomorrow before I take my flight." And he was like, "Yes, Mr. Jurgens." And he takes the drawing off, and I guess he's gonna go collect his money or whatever the fuck. And I'm like, boy, if this was drugs, I would have been like, like he was on some kingpin type shit. And I was like, wow, So it was funny because it was behind the drawing, but it was him drawing, but it just sounded like it could have been a drug deal. I don't know, I'm from the streets, man. So just to hear it go down over a drawing, but the way it was done, and the guy bigger than me was addressing him, "Yes, Mr. Jurgens," and I was like, wait a minute, man. And I was like, but I had I had my pass, my little deal that, and he's like, "Come here," and I went, and he took it and he autographed it. And I have it, I still have. Yeah, of course, man. I'm not getting rid of that, man. And I was, and I was like, "Man, I hope I see you again." He said, "Yeah, I hope so too." Then next, boom, the beginning of 2020. The world goes upside down, but I hope he's all right, man. And I'm subscribed to him, on Twitter, man. So I check up on everything he does, man. he's rolling strong, man. But he was a good guy, man, and he was nice to me and my daughter. So yeah, man, some good shit, man. It's like I say, man, for me to been collecting comic books, man, since I was like 5 or 6, and just going 2 years ago for the first time. Last year, nobody couldn't do anything, and this year, I don't know, man. People, I don't know. It's just, it's kind of funny how that's going, man. We might have to wait a little bit longer, but but it was just good to catch some folks before, and I met Sam De La Rosa also, man.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? Have you ever met Jim Steranko?
No, I sure haven't.
That's a character.
T-shirt. You've heard of Jim Steranko?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Back about early to mid 70s, he started putting out his own version of the history of comics. And I would see this when I was little. I used to see this at comic book shops. I didn't know what it was. I never picked it up, But this is the second issue of his whole history of comics from Jim Steranko. Jim Steranko is the guy that created S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. He's on Twitter. You can catch him anytime. He'll respond to whatever questions. Good looking dude. In real life, back around the time that he first went to Marvel Comics, I think he was into bodybuilding, but he wasn't a big guy. Right. And he was also into modeling. I would swear to you that the people behind the Speed Racer cartoons modeled him after what he looked like back then. Oh. That's exactly what he looked like.
There you go.
That's Jim Steranko.
Oh yeah, I've seen pictures of him.
Perfect teeth. And look at that shadow artwork behind him, man. Look at that.
Oh, jeez.
And the thing is, he always kept that same look. Like no matter what no matter every time I see him, he always looked like that. Like he'll turtlenecks but he cool. Like he always had like a real smooth demeanor. He had a look from the 60s, man. But it's like but even like going into the 70s and 80s, he never lost the look. Like and like he'll go into a room and be the only dude with that. It's like basically he's like a walking time period, like a walking timepiece, man. And it's like he's and the thing is, he never loses his swagger. It's like he stays like that with the smile and the good looks and the cool fucking shades and the the necklace, maybe one or two rings and a bracelet and some real. He stays like that, man.
Every picture I've seen of him, he looks like this.
He's a guy who will tell you ask him any questions about anything having to do with the comic book industry,
right?
Circa, say, even pre-2000, pre-90s, pre-80s, really. He'll tell you everything. Right. He was the guy that dropped the dime on Bob Kane.
Yeah, Bob Kane.
Oh,
he's the one that started talking about Bob Kane, talking, hey man. He wasn't all that.
Wow.
Well, what else you got for us?
Shit. I mean, hell,
let's see
these two.
All right.
It's funny. My boy Keely Chow was talking about his daughter's going to be in season 2 of Stargirl. And right next to me, I got Stargirl first appearance.
Yeah.
Let me close up on that. Hang on.
Yeah, man. It's
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Starman.
Hey, that's the Starman I like right there.
Yeah, but you see what he has in his hand.
That's the original Star Wand thing, right?
I mean, if you watch the show, that's the staff that she uses. So basically, what he did was he gave her the staff. And for the TV show that you watch now on the CW. That's her weapon. I mean, she's all over the place, but he had the staff first because that was his dad's. Yeah, it was just a modified version of his dad's deal.
Rod.
Right.
Yeah, his dad carried a rod that was about yay big.
Right. Exactly.
And he modified it. Yeah.
And so this is for Keely Chow, just let him know that hey, I'm be looking out for your, for your kinfolk, for your daughter on season 2, because I got bought season 1 of Stargirl. I got it, online. Got it for a brand new for $10. So I was like, shit, I jumped on that real quick, man. And of course, I love Stargirl. So of course I got, issues 2 and 3, and I got the rest of the collection over here. But I didn't, I just was showing them off because Keely Child was like, yo, my daughter. And
I've got that issue where Jack Knight takes over as Starman somewhere over here.
Yeah,
but,
that's actually issue 0.
Uh-huh.
And actually, it's funny because I have
like 0 hour, but I love that Jack Knight Starman so much. Oh damn! Yep. Look at you. Yeah,
dude, I got the whole collection sitting over here, man.
Oh,
and I didn't even know we was going to even be talking about Starman. I got the whole collection. I have like Starman, and back then, when they were doing the actual, this is the second series of Starman. Mm-hmm. I have the 1988 Starman. If you remember him, I have his whole collection sitting right here next to me. I have Jack Knight Starman sitting next to me. I got Stargirl. So I'm a huge JSA fan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge JSA fan. So are you? Let me ask some. Are you interested in the 7 Soldiers of Victory?
Heck yes, because that's where Green Arrow comes from.
Oh,
and you've got Vigilante. You've got.
I like Vigilante.
Oh wow! Oh man, it's been so long.
Yeah,
you got Uncle Sam. You got
you had the Star Spangled Kid.
Yep.
And
Stripesy.
Huh?
And Stripesy. And
Stripes, right. From Stargirl. Yeah, that's her stepdad. Yeah, of course. So you have them, and then you also have 2 more, because there's 7 soldiers.
Was Sandman one of them?
It was Crimson Avenger.
Oh, I was about to say, wasn't Sandman one of them?
No, it was Sandy the Golden Boy, which was the sidekick of the Crimson Avenger.
Okay, well, my brain hurts here, but they used to have like Sandman Mystery Theater, right? And that had like the old timey Sandman who was like the guy who had like Morpheus's mask or something.
Yeah. The original Sandman. Yeah.
Right. The original Sandman. I matter of fact, he was created by Jack Kirby.
Wow.
You talking about the Jack Kirby Sandman? Was I have his first issue. He had a yellow outfit, and he had like a red and yellow. I have that. I have a few issues of that Sandman. There is a Jack Kirby Sandman that came out back in the 70s. If that's the Sandman, I know, but you talking about more of the, from there we got the Neil Gaiman Sandman. If that's
no. I'm talking about the 1940s version, the JSA version of Sandman.
Oh,
because he uses
with the gun. Yeah, of course. Yep. Yeah. With Sandy. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. He was I think that was Sandy the Golden Boy, if I'm not mistaken.
You like this one?
Yeah.
Of course. He wore the mask. Yeah, that's him. He was awesome too. Wesley Dodds.
Yep.
Wesley Dodds. Yeah.
Yep.
Come on, man. We talking JSA, baby.
Look, there is so much, and you've heard me say this before, T-shirt.
Yep.
There is so much that Warner Brothers has failed to really get into that they actually have with the DC IP that they've never even touched. There are characters, there are concepts and books and groups and teams, and there's so much, and they've never touched it. They've never touched any of it. I'm happy about the fact that Dwayne Johnson is a big fan of the JSA and would love to use those guys in his movies.
I'm scared to see what he's doing, man. Because I've done videos on ever since he's been, actually started casting. And I've been doing videos for like the last year and a half on keeping up on it, and it's been, man, it's just one of those things that the end product is something that we're gonna have to wait and see. But I heard it's gonna be, but I'm not gonna judge it until I see it. This is a new comic.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, cover. This actually came out at the end of May. But think about it. This is called Stargirl Spring Break Special. When is spring break? March.
Yeah.
So, but that's why I was like, damn. So in March, I was at the comic book store, like, yo, you guys got this issue? Dude was like, it doesn't come out till May. I'm like, what the fuck, man? DC, come on, man. It's like, damn, it's like getting their DC summer special and fucking Christmas. Like, come on, man. You guys got to do better than that, man. Now, this is the variant issue. This is a variant cover.
Yeah.
Now,
that's good, though.
And the thing that's special about this is you get to find out what happened with the 7 Soldiers of Victory. So now what happens is you get to find out that the Green Lantern that we saw in the 7 Soldiers of Victory was actually the same Green Lantern that we saw in the Justice League of America. When you first saw the JLA, and he's we're talking from the 60s, Green Lantern with no, he's clean faced. We're talking early Green Arrow.
Yeah,
early Green Arrow with no goatee, none of that shit. Young Green Arrow. Come to find out that, because we always thought there was an Earth 1, Earth 2 Green Arrow. And this comic book explains, and it just came out, explains that it was the actual same Green Arrow. There was never an Earth 2 Green Arrow. So basically Oliver Queen and Roy Harper got plucked out of their original continuity and got stuck into the 7 Soldiers of Victory. And we thought that it was always because the comic books and the stories were both running simultaneously. You thought that it was an Earth 1 and Earth 2 because one was dealing with Earth 2 characters and the other one was dealing with Earth 1 characters. Because you were looking at the JLA with Green Arrow, then you're looking at the stories of the 7 Soldiers of Victory, and that Green Arrow was one with Earth 2 characters. Now the thing is, that's the same Green Arrow with the mustache and the goatee, the same one with Roy Harper that now he's Arsenal. It's the same. It was the same Green Arrow, and this book explained it, and I didn't know that. I don't know what happened in the, how they're writing the history to where it ends up being the same guy. Because I always thought it was always written, it was always 2 people, but this comic book explains that both Oliver Queens that we were looking at from the old school 7 Soldiers of Victory, along with current day Justice League of America, their current iteration from the 60s on up, has always been the same person.
Wow. We got some comments from the channel here. It's like, CJ's talking about the only DC he ever collected was Green Arrow before they rebooted him into his 20s. I picked up the first 6 issues of that, and it was running like at the same time as the Arrow TV show started. So that's why it picked up my interest, but I never saw what panned out with that. And I don't know about this one, guys. You guys might be able to answer this one. Justice League Unlimited Patriot Act?
Oh, yeah. That has to be the one where he's teamed up with Captain Atom and Supergirl, I think.
Oh, Captain
Atom.
Atom.
Remember? Justice League Unlimited was my favorite version of all that because I am a big fan of having all the characters in there. Not anything against how they handled the first iteration by just having those 7 characters. But to me, the Justice League, unlike a lot of other teams, is a team that can have different characters come in, do things, stay, and I like having as many people as possible. I don't like sticking with one Green Lantern. I like the fact that all the Green Lanterns have served because there is a permanent place for whoever the Earth Green Lantern at that time actually is to actually serve with the Justice League. And so whether it be Hal or John or any
Kyle.
of the rest of them, well, you know,
Guy Gardner or whatever, right? Or,
Guy is just fun. I may not like the way his relationship with Hal is.
Kyle Rayner.
Or Kyle, you know, it's just the fact that it's, again, I blame Warner Brothers because they're the ones actually in charge of a lot of the non-comic book stuff that you do with those characters.
Right.
And they have not treated any of these characters the way that they should be. You know, Green Lantern, you could do a series of movies about the cosmic portion of the DC universe without ever having to set anything on Earth. Because there are so many characters out there. Whether you're talking the Fourth World, whether you're talking the Dark Stars, or the Manhunters, or Space Cabbie for Space Cabbie. If somebody had told me,
Space Cabbie, hey, you own his 4-part limited series with him and Lobo.
Oh man,
come on, man! Hey,
I missed out on that one.
I'm Lobo fan, man. I'm
since day one for me,
Lobo, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah, man.
So much, and Captain Comet, and
Captain
Adam
Comet.
Strange.
Yeah, he's DC's first mutant.
Yeah.
People don't even understand Captain Comet, man. It's like, come on, man.
They act like none of these characters exist, and they always kind of go back to the same ones, and it's like there's nothing wrong with Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman.
Right.
You know, there's nothing wrong with those guys at all. But there are so many other characters to put out there.
Then they fuck with like Plastic Man or I mean, dude, this shit
man.
Do I mean, fuck. I mean, how much fun would Plastic Man be? Even if you looked at his old cartoon, like he could turn into fucking anything.
Yeah.
I mean, even in comic books, it got to the point where it became scary to know how deep or how far Plastic Man can go.
Yeah.
In being he could be one of the most powerful characters if he really wanted to like push himself.
Yeah. Well,
dude, he's something unbelievable.
He's a bad guy. He is a former bad guy who has decided to become a good guy.
Right.
And his mind is a little off. You know, to the point where even the Joker doesn't think, you know, he'll look at him going, that stuff's not that funny.
Right.
You know?
I mean, because he's like he has a sense of humor like Deadpool.
Yeah.
But he stretches and he just, you know, but he cares, man. I mean, he's a good dude, man. Like when you look at him, I remember when he did that the 1990s Justice League when they put him with the team. Remember when they came out with the issue #1?
Yeah.
And they had him on the team, and it was like he was a comic. It was him and Wally West, and they were like the two funny dudes on the team. But when it came down to some shit, like Plastic Man came in the clutch, and people actually valued who he was because you basically turned a character that was like a laughing stock. He was like the way
like
people
a joke.
feel about Captain Marvel, Shazam, and Aquaman. I'm gonna tell you something, guys. Before the 90s, these guys were look. It took for Aquaman to have to get his hand bitten off and grow a mustache and long hair, and for him to have like a I don't give a fuck kind of attitude before people actually respected him. But he was cool the whole time. Like people saw him from the Super Friends. He was a guy that rode seahorses. He was more than that. Like this dude controlled. He was the king of the 7 seas, man. And his whole world was big. Dude, I got old Aquaman comics from like the 60s, man. I love Aquaman. And like I said, he was treated as a joke. And the same thing with Shazam, Captain Marvel. He was like, they treated him like he was a second-rate Superman. But the thing is DC never utilized him because of the fact that he was a kid having the powers. Actually, he's probably one of the only people that can actually stop Superman in his tracks.
Yeah.
And people just really don't even respect I hate the goofy version of him in these movies, man. But God, that's so horrible, man. But I mean, but if you look at the core of who he is, man, Captain Marvel's an awesome character, and I see why. For a few years, like what Keith was saying, he was actually outselling Superman in comic books because he was actually, CC Beck, man. I mean, dude, Fawcett Comics, fuck, man, and it was so much, man. And I mean, I miss the old iterations of like Mary Marvel and
Captain Marvel Jr. And,
dude,
that character, Captain Marvel Jr.
Oh man, here's
a little side thing. Here's a little side thing you need to understand about Captain Marvel Jr. He had one of the biggest entertainers of the 20th century was a fan of that. That's right. Elvis was a fan of Captain Marvel. Hey. He grew his hair out and everything just like Captain Marvel Jr. So all that 70s stuff, the whole thing with the little cape and everything, that's all modeled. Yes. Yeah. That's all modeled from Captain Marvel Jr.
Actually, last week when I was doing a live stream, I talked about the same shit about how he he went to a lady that he was like, hey, can you make me I heard he gave her some comic books and was like, yo, make me some shit that's on the level of this. And next he comes with the half cape tilted to the side and boom. And the thing is, what happened was, in respect to Elvis praising this character, they turn around and put Captain Marvel Jr. to be a spitting image of Elvis.
Yeah.
Just to pay homage. And it was like, fuck, that was man, that's some good shit, man. Hey, fuck. I tell you, I have it's funny because I picked up Captain Marvel mint condition #1 from the 70s.
Wow.
And I have issue 28. It's sitting. I mean, it's sitting right here next to me. The first appearance of modern day Black Adam.
Wow.
And what's funny? This is what I'm wondering. The Rock is gonna play Black Adam.
Yeah.
I wonder. He's supposed to be a big comic book fan, but with all the money that he has, I wonder, does he actually own the whole Captain Marvel? Look at that, boy.
I'm thinking by now he does. And
if he does, is he going to come with the Black Adam from the New 52, or is he going to come from the original Black Adam without that bullshit ass cape and hoodie? Fuck that hoodie and cape shit, man. I think he's going to come with the hoodie and cape.
I'm thinking he's going to try to combine all of that, because the thing about Zack Snyder, when he was putting together all of his stuff, was the fact that he was mixing and matching everything.
And most of this shit came from the New 52.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you notice how Batman, in Batman v Superman, that scene where Luthor is checking out the security footage about what happened as far as Batman breaking in to steal the kryptonite. You notice all the moves that he used in taking up that security guard. That was from the Arkham game.
Yeah. And actually, dude, the Arkham games I own all. Oh,
me too. The only one I don't have is Arkham Knight because everybody told me it's a turd. So.
No, actually, get it, man. Don't listen to nobody, man. Just get it. I know you. That's the thing, man. You wanted to get it. Dude, it's part of the series, and then next they're coming out with the new one. That's it's the further adventure of that. You might as well just go. You look it up online. You'll get it for like $10 or $15. You pay $3 shipping and handling. You're good to go, man. Just go ahead and scoop it, man. Look at you, man.
Oh, check him out.
Man.
The DC vault.
Alex Ross.
This is what you need. Every DC fan, every comic book fan should own this, because this is a museum in book form. Okay, it's got all of this incredible stuff inside of it.
Oh, wow.
Replicas. Here's the Batcave. Here's
that's the Earth 2 version of the Batcave, man. That's
it's
2 Batmans.
It's spiral bound too. That's great.
Yep. Here's replicas of
look at that.
Different comic books.
Wow.
That you can take out and look at and examine.
Oh, we got a question here.
Yeah, go for it.
Does it come with DC Online?
I wish.
Oh man.
I wish.
Hey, you know, I'm on DC Online, man. I mean,
Oh wow,
look at that. That's
dang.
This is just replica. These are all replicas of stuff that they actually have in the DC vaults. And so you've got, I mean, just even of the other comics that they, not just the superhero stuff, they did Westerns.
Yeah.
Creating all kinds of characters.
you know, actually, yeah, they got some good stuff, man. Damn.
Sensation Comics.
You know, actually, you know, and it's funny because DC used to put out like romance novels and
Yep.
and shit like
well,
that.
Marvel did the same thing, but that was very limited.
Right.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
I mean, this is if you consider yourself any kind of a fan or a collector, and there are certain things that are just beyond our ability to be able to pay for. That's the reason why they put this out, was to give you at least a chance to own some of this stuff. And oops, can't show you that. Can't show you that. Spoiler. But even when Hollywood came calling, DC was the place that, you know how certain comic book companies now only serve as sort of like a place for adaptations of movies and television shows?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what DC did.
Yeah, I mean,
Dr. No.
You know, actually, like both Marvel was doing like Blade Runner. I mean, dude, they, you know, both Marvel and DC did adaptations for so many comics. I mean, for so many movies, and dude, there's so many of them. I mean, you would be surprised. You'd be surprised.
Well, they did Bob Hope. Bob Hope got a comic book through DC.
Yeah, and
Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin initially, and then just Jerry Lewis.
Oh well, come on now. The most famous one still has to be Muhammad Ali versus Superman.
Yeah, but that was later. You see, that was
that was in the 70s.
That was the 70s.
Yeah.
But I mean, what we're talking about is leading up to that.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
But I mean, you're on the right track. You know, but DC had been doing it for decades, man.
Right.
I mean,
look at that. That's beautiful.
They even have a. I mean, they got things like pads. They have things like bookmarks. They even have a thing in here. I remember this from back in the day. They ran a contest in the comics where they gave you an opportunity to win a cameo in the new Superman movie.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I remember that.
This is Christopher Reeve picking out the name of the lucky person.
Yeah, that was
who's going to be in the movie.
Yeah, that was actually for like Superman 2 or Superman 3.
That was actually Superman the movie, the first one.
The first one, okay, all right.
Who ended up winning it? Or I mean, what scene were they in? Do you know?
That I don't know, but I remember when that movie was filming because very memorably, because Warner Brothers came in to buy DC Comics like 1976. So they were filming the movie in 77.
Right.
And that was during the famous New York blackout. Because Christopher Reeve liked to tell the story about they were filming in New York City and the blackout happens. Now, picture this in your mind. All of New York City, it is now nighttime. Every light everywhere goes out.
And you know, and the thing is, you know, I was born out there, man, and back in I could tell you this, man, back in like the 70s, you know, the 80s, you know, man, boy, if that would have been the 80s, that would have been something else. But in the 70s, just for New York being notorious for what it was, you know, with you know, projects and just different things, you know, different neighborhoods and everything. Just imagine being in one, you know, in what's considered one of the worst places in America. You know, you live over there, and all of a sudden, or you just over there, and everything shuts off. Like, you know, the lights cut off in one of the worst places you'd want to be in America.
Ooh.
And Christopher Reeve tells the story that they were filming the scene where Superman is flying to catch the helicopter.
Oh, yeah.
Lois is in, right?
Yeah.
So they have him suspended in midair, wearing the Superman costume on wires, right? Suddenly all the lights go out.
Oh no.
Whoa. Except where the film crew is, because they have their own generators.
Oh yeah.
They got the only light. And the biggest lights are shining on him, suspended in midair, wearing a Superman costume. And Christopher Reeve tells the story. He's like, yeah, I'm looking out and I can see everything. You know, I can see people breaking into shops. You can hear gunfire. And he was hoping nobody would look up. He was just hoping that nobody would look up because he was thinking somebody was going to try to take a shot at him.
Jeez.
You know?
Wow.
And it was wild, man. But from that moment on, in my opinion, DC ceased to be the company that it was for many years.
Right.
And became this big corporate thing that Warner Brothers basically, again, in my opinion, didn't use correctly.
Right.
I mean, they got what they wanted out of it. You know, I mean, they use it for the most part, but they have no idea what's in it. They have no idea what characters, what things are, what things are offered. What I mean, just all the incredible stuff that they have.
Right.
Back when DC Entertainment was all under one roof, they used to do this thing where they would have inside the DC vault sometimes, and so they would take you into the vaults, and you would see all of the stuff that they had saved.
Right.
You know, they literally, some of the stuff is in an actual kind of bank type vault, and they would bring out things and show you, and that's where they got the idea for this book, is by taking just a smidgen of the stuff that they have and just creating copies of it and putting it in book form for fans to actually get their own private copy, personal copies of a lot of the stuff that they have.
That sets you back.
Of course, it's not as expensive as you may think. You know,
Yeah, I'm thinking at least 100.
I bought this used at a used bookstore in St. Louis.
Wow.
So I bought it for like $25.
What?
When it was new, it was worth $49.95.
What?
Yeah, and probably now, looking at the times, you could probably get it for as much as he paid for it, or even cheaper, man. Because the same company did the same exact thing for Marvel. They have a Marvel version too.
Oh, I need to get that then.
Yeah,
I'm a big Marvel fan. So
it is in my opinion, if you are a comic book fan, because I own both of these, because I'm a big comic book fan, and I enjoy all of the history of both companies. And again, it's important to celebrate this American art form, because again, I know other countries have contributed, but I don't think any country has contributed the way that we have in this country.
Right.
True.
You know,
That's true.
And has added this is the history right in here in these pages.
yeah, our characters
Everything.
are iconic.
Yeah, for real, man.
And it shows you both pre-Hollywood and post-Hollywood, the effect even that Hollywood had on the popularity of these characters, and more so DC than Marvel, although Marvel will have that. They are in the middle of what they're doing right now. But when you think about it, from 1941 to this year is how long Hollywood has been in business with DC Comics.
Right.
Okay? And not counting the Captain America
I was going to just
movie
say
that they made back in 41, 42.
Yeah, because I remember
Not
Captain
counting
America
that.
black and white. Yeah.
That's right. Not counting that film, it's not been that long for Marvel.
Okay, you guys, I got a question for both of y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, both of y'all are big on the cons.
Yes.
You right?
Well,
Yeah.
he is, and I only went to one, man. So I'm stoked about. I'm still excited about that
Well,
shit. 2 years
okay.
ago, man. It was some
Okay.
good shit. Yeah.
It's okay. I've only been to a few myself, so Keith is really the big conventioneer.
There you go.
But okay, y'all are both into the cons, and you both are big on the history and everything else of the DC Comics era of the past eras.
Mm-hmm.
So with that in mind, Here's a kind of a sobering question. What do you guys think the current legacy of, or the legacy of the current DC Comics writers and issues is going to be? Do you think these new artists and storytellers are going to be big hits on the convention circuit? Are they going to be featured in museum archives of DC history, or what do you guys think?
Well, actually,
let me answer that. I can answer it.
No. You know,
and it'll be short. It'll be short compared to the entire history of the comic book medium. Because again, I know I keep mentioning this guy's name, but you need to learn who David Zaslav is. Okay, this guy wants to make money.
Yeah, from Discovery. Yeah,
that's right.
Right.
He wants to make money. Okay, he wants all of this to be successful. Right. He is not someone that shies away from a challenge. So when he takes over, he's taken all of it over. Okay, and I sincerely hope that he decides to bring DC Entertainment back under one roof, because when Justice League came out, Warner Brothers decided to punish everybody by splitting DC Entertainment up and shoving all the parts into different areas of Warner Brothers. So the television division for DC is now integrated into the television division of Warner Brothers. The film division of DC is now integrated into the film division of Warner Brothers. Right. All the areas are now, it used to be in one place, the same way that Marvel is doing it, and now it's separated.
Right.
This is the guy who's kind of a savant with numbers. And I don't just mean with box office numbers. I mean numbers in general. He knows who is a producer and who isn't. And when I say producer, I mean someone that's out there earning, getting it done, who is a value to the company. Right. And is not out there making dumb statements like, if you don't like my books, don't buy them. Hey, you know what? You can just not be a part of my company anymore. Okay? Nobody that works for me is going to say something dumb like that.
Right.
You know, I get people having a particular point of view about whatever. The thing is, your job when you work for a company like this, especially under Mr. Zaslav, is to make money. Period.
Right.
Those motherfuckers.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, you know, actually, I've actually, ever since he's, they've been talking the merger and everything, I've been doing countless videos, and I know, it's been kind of quiet for the last week or two on him. But the last thing that last video I put out was how they were talking about structuring DC films to be more like Marvel Studios. And that way, the thing is, Marvel Studios has their shit more together than DC Films has ever been. And, there's structure there. And DC Films have no structure at all.
Well, and that's because of the circumstances of how.
Right, no, I understand. Yeah, of course. You're right.
Because you keep talking about the unicorn now.
Well, Fox's problem is that they didn't want to have a person in charge. They treated all of their Marvel films as if they were just films that they could just make. You guys are comic book guys. We know how to make movies and TV shows. Right. You just leave us to that, and we'll get it done.
Right.
And then you get the X-Men films and an inconsistent quality, and then the amount of money that you make as far as your profits start to go down for every movie that you make. You cannot have that. You cannot go to your shareholders and go, hey, people seem to like these characters, but our profits are going down. Do you think we should make another movie?
It's funny because you know that Kevin Feige came from all that, and I think he learned from the of course he learned from the success, but he learned from the failures of that shit, and that's what he implemented into Marvel Studios when he got in there, and and that's what turned everything around, because he wasn't stupid to make the same mistake twice, and that goes for even but then again. Look at it's funny, for as smart as he is, you start to wonder what kind of dumb shit is he doing now? So it's I don't know. It's interesting because for the simple fact, like I give you an example. That last Avengers movie, when they were all in the same suit, you know, when they were all dressed, that looks like some old X-Men shit when they were all in the same fucking suits. And that's Feige, you know, when he started off there, he had everybody dressing, doing their own individual things. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. There's no individuality when you have a whole team of heroes and all dressed the same, but you know that they all have their own kick-ass personal outfits. All that that shit. It's like how would you feel like if you watched Zack Snyder's Justice League and they all wore the same fucking suit?
Oh, let me respond to this real quick. Okay, Keely Chow says DC is supposed to be a little bit darker than Marvel. I kind of disagree with that. I mean, comic book wise, yeah. I mean, DC has always kind of never had the labels on it as much as Marvel, because Marvel usually has more of the mature reader type stuff. But I've never really seen DC as being darker per se. I mean, Marvel was always a little bit more down to earth, realistic. I mean, their heroes weren't as powerful, and so they couldn't come out with really. Yeah, I don't know.
It's pretty basic.
There you go.
Let me give you an example. Iron Man is a complex character. He is a billionaire
alcoholic
who is also an engineer, who is also a philanthropist and an alcoholic and a womanizer. Okay, he's all those things.
Right.
I guarantee you, growing up, he was probably a Batman fan. Now, Bruce is technically all those things too. But the difference is that when you look at the history of Batman,
right,
you start out with this guy who, and if people don't like it when I say it, but if you're a true comic book fan, he was straight up murdering folks, from the get-go. He's letting people die. And it wasn't so much that he was going out to kill the bad guys. The purpose of those first comics was that if you out there doing something wrong, his job is to stop you. Right. If in doing something wrong, you continue to try to come at him, try to kill him, he can do whatever it takes to be able to stop you, depending on the level of the threat that you are. Right. And that first adventure, that guy dies because he doesn't understand the fact that he's beaten. Right. Batman has beaten him, but he still wants to persist in trying to win, even though there was no way for him to win in that situation. Right. And he died. He falls into the vat. He dies by his own hand. Now, people get up in arms about that, but if you think about it, in coming after Ben Affleck and Zack Snyder, that's pretty much the same philosophy that the character of Batman has in Batman Begins. Right. That's the reason why when Ra's al Ghul, he tells Ra's al Ghul, I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. Same thing. Man. It's just different degrees. It's how you want the character to reflect the era that they're in. Right. That one of my favorite Easter eggs from Superman the movie with Christopher Reeve is when Lois asks Superman, "Who are you?" and he says, "A friend." That's an Easter egg. When people hear that, they think of Superman the movie. Except, here's the thing. They didn't create that line. That's from Superman's first appearance in comics. That's what he tells Lois in the comics when he first meet. I'm a friend.
New Bump Turk says this Dark Superman is fine for Elseworlds type stuff, but main Earth 1 suit should be the beacon of hope. And yeah, I agree.
That's what they were building towards. But because they were dealing with idiots who, and again, I lay this right at the feet of Jeff Johns. Because out of everybody at Warner Brothers, he knew how this should go. Yeah. And on purpose, he did what he did and sabotaged. And on top of everything else, the real reason why he got fired was that he spent money, more money than he should have. When Zack Snyder got fired or removed. The movie was essentially done.
Right.
And he went with his friend John Berg, and they went back and essentially spent an additional $125 million reshoots.
Mm-hmm.
So, as people like to say, you spin the wheel, you take your chances. Well, he spun the wheel and he crapped out.
Yeah, he did.
Because you spent all that money because what? You weren't satisfied with the script? Well, wait a minute. You're the producer. That meant that the script had to be approved by the bosses at Warner Brothers, and they approved it. They gave you the money. This is your budget based on the script you gave us. If you continue to have problems with that script, you should have said something before filming started. Because once that ball starts to roll, once they give you that money, you are on the clock.
Right,
You're on the hook for all that cash.
Right. Yep.
Well,
The movie's done.
To go back into what Keela was talking about a darker DC.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that darker type stuff really came out after, during the 80s when
Batman.
Alan Moore is fucking brilliant. He really is. But when he made Watchmen and he basically deconstructed all the heroes and it became a super duper duper mega hit, it unfortunately set kind of a tone that Frank Miller built on with Dark Knight Returns. And unfortunately, all the comic books guys all started thinking, oh, well, everybody likes their heroes to be more darker and more gritty. And so kind of going into the 90s, that's a lot of what we had in comics was darker, grittier heroes. And then a weird thing happened and Image popped up with Rob Liefeld and all these big fucking huge steroid heroes with the super bright colors and the images and stuff. And it was just kind of like, okay.
But that eventually led us to, books like Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
And The Boys.
Awesome.
Both of those books are about how a lot of that stuff gets out of control.
Right.
And so I know, again, with characters like Wonder Woman and Superman, Batman, The Flash, Green Lantern, Hawkman, all these characters. Right. These are the characters that the Marvel characters grew up reading. That's just basically what the DC characters are. They are meant to be looked up to. But not all of it is about looking up because, I'm the nicest guy and I'm sugary sweet. It's about doing the right thing in spite of what you may feel.
Right.
The purpose of the Marvel books are to be realistic people that have the opportunity to find themselves in certain circumstances.
Yeah.
Tony is not really the nicest guy.
No.
He created the Iron Man suit because he was going to die, not out of a sense of, I got to do the right thing. He created it to save his own life. And at least in the comics, as an outgrowth of that, a lot of the stuff that he ends up doing in the comics really is more about a self-service, presenting Iron Man as an employee of Stark Industries, and not saying that he is Iron Man. Pepper Potts' relationship with him and all the other women that he was with and continued to be with, and not really dealing with the emotional baggage of having to live a dual identity, which eventually led to his drinking problems, which straight up became alcoholism.
Right.
The health problems that came with all that stuff.
Right.
Notice Batman doesn't deal with all that.
well, actually, it did come to a point where in his books, James Gordon, with his smoking and the tobacco,
yes,
that actually, that was a thing of they started having Jim Gordon doing, don't smoke, fucking commercials. Actually, really, like I don't know if you remember those.
I do.
But, like Jim Gordon was like, "Don't smoke because now I'm dealing with cancer or some shit." Like, I remember those.
Yeah.
That's kind of when we started getting into a little bit more of the preachy era of comic books. And hey, Fat Steven, we're talking DC today. How are you?
I'm doing all right. First of all, Keith, you still owe me a kiss. Secondly, hi 21st. No, this is a joke from Babylon 5. That's why we're making the joke. It's not actually like that 21st. It's not like secret.
Nah, because you came on and I heard, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
I'll give you a kiss too. I'll give you 24.
Nah, I had to ignore that shit.
Look, he's blushing. Look, he's blushing.
Nah, get the fuck out of here.
But did you guys? You guys were talking DC. Did you guys see the leaked screens for the second part of Long Halloween?
No.
They came out today.
No.
Oh, really?
Poison Ivy, Scarecrow, Mad Hatter.
Nice.
Yeah.
I said it before and I'll say it again. I said it before and I'll say it again. If David Zaslav really wants to do something a little bit different,
Right,
he should go ahead and authorize a Batman animated series and focus squarely on the Batman family.
right.
And don't just make this a kiddie thing. Go ahead and straight up make this a PG-13,
Right.
something that you can only watch after 9 o'clock type of thing that you can only have on HBO or cable or whatever.
Right.
And just make it
Like Spawn from HBO
Yeah,
in the 90s.
like Spawn.
basically, yeah.
That's exactly
But
what I was thinking.
deal with all of the Batman
Right,
family,
right.
not just Batman. All of them.
The
Yeah.
second question is, could they do that but use the format of Brave and the Bold?
I was wondering about that. Yeah.
Well,
Can you imagine the Brave and the Bold, but the adult to older youth style, so it gives the darker feel, but it's still doing one of the best series we've had since animated.
Well,
series.
I mean, I think the animation would have to be more serious.
Yeah, they could do that.
Brave and the Bold. It would have to be more serious for people to take what's going to, like he said, if you're talking about the whole Bat family, you would have to take it into a whole more realistic realms with it. Because if you look, you're talking about the Birds of Prey, you're talking about Batgirl, you talking about the different iterations of Batgirl. So you still got what Cassandra Cain, or you talking about Barbara Gordon?
Talking about all of them. I'm talking about even Betty King or Bet King. I would even go so far as to even have her. I want everybody. I want the Signal. I want Batwing.
Right.
I want them all, and utilize everybody so that it isn't just a what's Batman going to do this week. I want it to be the kind of show where you could tune in and Batman may not be in this episode. You might get Nightwing and Red Robin.
Right.
You might get Batwoman and Damian.
Right.
You might,
you mean everybody from like Batman Incorporated?
Everybody.
Everybody,
I want
right.
everybody in it because that's something that nobody's ever seen before,
Right.
and nobody would have expected to see that. It's the reason why I love Young Justice.
Here's a good one.
question.
The question.
Well, let me ask you this: you think it'd be better like in an anthology?
I wouldn't mind an anthology. I just want something that allows you to see Batman really in a slightly different light than what you may expect. Because given all the different cartoons and live action films, the one thing that they have never done, and the one thing that would be again seemingly next to impossible in live action, would be to have the entire Batman family represented in an animated piece. That'd be the only way you could get away with it, because nobody's ever really attempted to do that before. And people need to understand that there is a reason why Batman and Spider-Man have lasted as long as they have and have been as successful as they have, because it's not only just about the rogues gallery.
Right.
It's about that balance of story and character and what they bring to it.
Right.
The Batman family and Spider-Man and all of his characters, it works. It works. There is both of those are kindred spirits in the way that they tell stories, and they tell these huge, expansive stories with multitudes of characters connected to the main character. So it isn't just Spider-Man. It isn't just Batman. It's all of them. You could technically do that with other characters, but wouldn't you rather see a huge, expansive Batman animated piece featuring all the characters?
Yeah, and see him interacting with everybody, and have sometimes a few of them go, sometimes they deal with a big menace and all of them go. and just see them all, together. Yeah, and actually you'll catch that in the books, but in a live action or a cartoon, they never took it that far. And actually there's stories and a bunch of shit where they all came together to deal with with one thing or another. So why not present that? And I think the closest thing you're gonna get to that, I think, is what they're trying to do with this new Gotham Knights video game. And because now I'm seeing it, it's a video game based on Batman. Batman ain't even in the fucking game.
Yeah.
Coming up, we've got Suicide Squad 2, and in that one we already know that Suicide Squad their big villain is Starro. But from what I remember in the comic books, Starro was kind of like one of those threats where it took the entire Justice League to stop Starro, if I remember.
Yeah, it did. It took the whole Justice League to stop Starro. And, actually, Starro has came back, a few times. And
shit.
But I also heard that he might also be a part of the video game that they're coming out. Because the thing is, there's supposed to be something that's mind controlling the heroes in this new Suicide Squad. What's that? Suicide Squad versus the Justice League, or tries to kill the Justice League, or I can't remember what it's called. But it's but yeah, you got the Suicide Squad basically. I think Rocksteady's doing it. If not, it's Warner Brothers Montreal is doing it, or one of those studios. And the thing is, the Justice League is going to be controlled, and the Suicide Squad is going to be
hired in.
Yeah, hired to stop them or take them down or whatever the case may be. So,
is it true though, 24, or everyone else here knows that both games have been postponed due to the fact they have to revamp stuff? One is because Batwoman was shown in the trailer, but now you can't actually be a playable character, and Suicide Squad was postponed because I guess of some kind of weird political shit going in the background of the company, or was that only one?
Actually, I haven't heard anything about either one. I never even heard Batwoman.
Yeah,
being a part of.
It was Batwoman or Batgirl. It was one.
Batgirl's a part of it. Yeah, Batgirl.
But one of them you couldn't play as, and that's why it's been revamped. And I'm really hoping someone photoshops Starro from the trailer as Patrick from SpongeBob.
Now, this is a character that I want to know why they haven't put in any of the movies or anything. That's Despero. Yeah, he's supposed to be a major league threat, where it takes the whole Justice League to stop him.
Actually, I have his first appearances in Justice League comics. Yeah, I got a few of the early runs of the Justice League. I got some books from the '60s and stuff like that. And
it's weird seeing him in that.
Yeah, but in those books he was more of like a purplish pink color, and compared to what you saw there. But yeah, it's the same character. Yeah, he's supposed to be deadly as shit, man. So, and that's another thing too. Like, for instance, like Darkseid.
Yeah.
The first time Darkseid ever faced the Justice League was in Justice League issues 183, 84, and 185. And I have those issues. Matter of fact, right here next to me, I have issue 183 autographed by Jim Starlin.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
You better show it to him. You better show it to him.
Yeah, I have it sitting right here next to me. And that's the thing. It's like it's the first time the Justice League and the Justice Society of America deal with the New Gods. Of course they dealt with them before separately, but now it took for the Justice League, the Justice Society of America, and the New Gods to take down Darkseid. And I have these. Let me see. Let me go.
Go ahead.
I'll go ahead. While you guys
24. Is that the one you got for like $3 or $4 a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
I hate you. I hate you so much right now. I really do.
And I got that shit for $3. It's like, look, I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it going off on an auction, and one person bid on it, and he only bid the asking price for that shit. And I'm like, this dude doesn't even want this shit, because if he understood that he had a Jim Starlin autograph Justice League issue 183, that is the first time the Justice League ever fought Darkseid, and the fact that it was coming out right when Zack Snyder's Justice League was hitting HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at this comic book and I'm like, this is the first time, and it took for all these teams to take Darkseid down. But it's autographed. This comic book's autographed by Jim Starlin, and one person bid on it, and it's only $3 bid. Oh man, actually,
wow.
I actually have those books. I have all three of those comics. Right,
I have Power of Shazam. Yeah,
I have that. I have that graphic novel, The Power of Shazam, and I have those other books. Yeah, I have all three of those.
Oh, that's cool.
The one with Shazam in the middle with Mary. That's issue 7 or 8 or.
That's his. Oh man.
Or issue 3 or 4 or what?
I think this is issue.
Because it's supposed to say on the top. 3. Yeah, I got that issue right here next to me too, man. Like it's all.
This is Shazam number 1. At the top.
Yeah, I have that too,
Superman.
man. Yeah, because I unboxed that about 2 weeks ago on my channel, and then that graphic novel that's done by Jerry Ordway, and I own that too. It's in the same box with the rest of the comics, man. Yeah, I have my whole Shazam collection here, man. So,
you're wearing your Justice League shirt, aren't you, Keith?
He's wearing his Justice League box.
Is it?
No,
it's your Hall of Justice?
Yeah,
it's a Hall of Justice shirt.
When the camera's off, he calls it the Hall of Thrustus.
Hey, it isn't the real place in like Indiana?
Actually, this is Cincinnati, Ohio.
Ohio, yeah, okay, yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah, I was gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go there one day.
I went, and the reason why it's Cincinnati is because the guy that was in charge of helping to create some of the backgrounds and visuals for the brand new Super Friends cartoon. Basically, they bought the rights to Hanna-Barbera and moved the headquarters for how they were going to make all their animated cartoons to Cincinnati.
Oh.
So Cincinnati was really the place where a lot of those cartoons were made. And the guy that was in charge of their background stuff created the Hall of Justice based on the Cincinnati train station.
Holy shit.
Well, that plus the fact that Central City is actually based on Athens, Ohio.
I mean, for the Flash, Central City?
Central City is based on Athens, Ohio. Now, other people who have written for the Flash over the years have moved in different places, but the original place is Athens, Ohio. So it makes sense that both Central City and the Hall of Justice are in Ohio.
Makes sense.
Oh, and if you watch Justice League, you'll notice the train cars.
What are you doing
for that scene? Ooh, love that. All those train cars that you see in the scene with Barry Allen, that's all Ohio. Turns out that according to Zack Snyder, Central City is in Ohio.
Okay, 24. So I'm just going to take all those books when you're not looking, and you'll pretend you love me that much more.
Hey, Keith, you know what this is, right?
Oh, geez, Black Adam. You know what?
Adam.
Let me tell you something.
This is worth a little. Depending on what The Rock does, this comic book's going to blow up more than what it is.
How do you? Let me ask. How do you buy all those books again? Do you buy those on eBay or?
Man, hey, I'm a hawk. Look at this.
We have
this. Jim Starlin autographed.
I used to have that issue.
Yeah,
I used to have that issue back in the day.
Hey, like I say, for $3, like people were sleeping. I was like, what the fuck? Hey, look, you don't got to tell me twice, man. But this is the. So look, look, what I do is I go, and I'm a part of a lot of different. I mean, there's hundreds. You wouldn't even believe, man, how many different comic book clubs are out there where they're like auctioning off so much shit, and I'm sitting there and I'm combing through them. That's all I do between that and looking for articles, to report on YouTube and all that. It's like it's a part of what I do, man. And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I'm seeing shit and I'm picking up like original. Look, let me show you this, man, right here. I'm picking up like, I'll show you shit like this, man. I'm picking up original runs of Justice League, man.
Oh, come on,
Oh,
man.
wow.
Look, I'm talking.
Not
You know,
12 cents.
I'm just saying. Look, look. It's not. It's. This is what I do, man, and I've been sitting here like unboxing these, man.
See,
And these are in mint condition. There's no cracks, no creases. I mean, you can go over. You can go look at the corners. Look at that shit, man. If it was dented, you'd see it glossing off of the fucking plastic. If it was all a beat up ass comic, and I don't even fuck around. Look at this, man. Look at this.
Can you just leave your door unlocked tonight?
Look,
Wow.
and look, Keith. I'm getting these for
Wait.
$20 a piece.
Is that the police or the Blackhawks?
It looks like it says the
Blackhawk.
half dirty dozen, the dirty half
Wow.
dozen, but it's this is issue number 66 of the Justice League.
God.
And I'm getting these books for $3 a piece in mint condition. And that's the thing. Like I've been telling folks, look, at this time of the pandemic, you got folks that are willing. They're sitting there and they're just basically giving their comic book collection away for little or nothing.
I had that issue. Ugh.
Now you see why I wanted to get Keith and 24/7 in the same
Hey,
streams.
and-
I knew you'd love this stuff, Keith.
Look,
They've had it before.
now, check out this issue right here. This is the Justice League of America and the Justice Society of America. But you get to see both Flashes, both Green Arrow. I mean, both Green Lanterns, both Hawkmans. You know, look, man, this some shit here, man.
Dr. Fate.
Dr.
Fate.
Fate, Batman,
Pierce
Power
Brosnan.
Girl, the Huntress. You know, but it's look. I got some core shit, and I'm sitting here, and like I say, look.
Oh,
Is that Gorilla Grodd?
yeah.
I love that character, but only in the show.
Man, they look, and it's this. Look, let me show you this, man. I got like
Firestorm.
My cousin was a big Firestorm collector back in the day.
Ooh,
I
yeah,
was
man.
too.
Look, and then see, like in this issue here, people didn't know that for a while, Supergirl was a part of the Justice League.
mhm.
Oh, that's the
Supergirl.
Supergirl who died.
Yeah, she's the one that died in the crisis, but that's the original Supergirl. She was actually a part of the Justice League for about a good maybe a year or so. And then the thing is it's like you got to see her appearance in different comic books that featured the Justice League. That when they were making Justice League comic books at the time that she was a member, they were actually putting Supergirl in the comic books with the rest of the members. So it wasn't like she was like a member just in their book. She was a member of the Justice League when the Justice League was showing up in other titles. And I have books where the Justice League old books, and she's a part. This Supergirl is in the team, and I'm like, well, shit, I didn't even know she was. Look, and then look, you talking about Captain Comet.
Oh man.
Dude, do you know what I mean? Dude, I have so many of these fucking comic books, bro. And they're all sitting right here next to me, man. If you want to see some shit, I can show you some shit, man. And this is what I do.
This
man.
is
I
why.
love doing
This is
man.
why I say that David Zaslav needs to hire me, because I could work with J.J. Abrams and point him to characters that would probably be better for him to adapt than what he's attempting to do right now.
Mm-hmm.
If they were to make a Captain Comic movie,
Man.
and just it would be like it's ah.
Well, you know who I still want to see. I still want to see Blue Beetle and Booster Gold.
Hey, you know what, man? Matter of fact, Dan Jurgens started. They have a new Blue Beetle Booster Gold comic book that just came out. That he's working on. Dude, he's the guy that he wants to keep. He wants to see these two guys, whether they're separate or together. He wants to be the guy that works on them. So as long as he's alive, I think he'll always get the work. And I just want to see how they brought Ted Cord back.
That's the thing. I love Ted Cord.
Yeah, I love Ted Cord.
And-
And the new Jimmy Reyes, what the fuck is I don't like him, man. He's just
No.
Well, I don't mind Jamie Reyes.
I don't mind him either, but it's just I just don't prefer him, man. It's just he didn't do anything to earn what the fuck I don't know, man. He's just a guy that got powers.
Yeah, he was compatible with the Scarab, and I don't mind that. I like the fact that Ted, everything that Ted was, Ted created. He wasn't given powers. He created everything that he had. He worked hard both on his body and on creating all that equipment.
Right.
And to me, if Warner Brothers were smart,
right,
I would either do a movie and or a television series that would encompass the entire history of the Blue Beetle, starting with how Ted Cord became the Blue Beetle, how he came into possession of the Scarab, and use that as the basis of his.
Actually, it's funny. I have all the original '80s Blue Beetle run. I have all that along with the Vigilante. I have the whole run of the Vigilante. I have the whole run of Blue Beetle downstairs. Matter of fact, I have the original Blue Beetle from Charleston Comics sitting in the box right next to me. The original Blue Beetle in the blue suit with the red thing on. Yeah, from Charleston.
Yep.
And let me ask you this. You remember this?
Ooh. Dollar Comics. Hey, let me blow that up, man. Let me blow it up.
Oh my
wow.
God. I used to have that.
Look at that, man. That's
Stevens now.
And then, yeah, man, I've been collecting these adventure comics, man. I've been scooping up some shit, man. Right here. Matter of fact, to even show you that what I've been saying is true, I have actual my receipts here for these books that I got, and my receipt to show you that I paid $1, $1.25, $2. Get ready for what I'm about to show you.
Uh-oh.
Please be
oh yeah.
Oh shit.
I'm paying $1 or $2, dude. Look,
that's
man.
That's Neil Adams art.
And these are in mint condition. These aren't in fine or very good or good. This ain't somebody's old beat up ass comic book collection that I just fell upon. This is the real shits here, man. And I'm getting them for $1 or $2, man. And the
You're about to make Keith take his hat off, man.
Look at that, man. Look at that. Remember Airwave? I love Airwave.
Yeah.
Man. Remember?
I love Airwave.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's look, man. They don't even.
I like you, 24. You and me need to hang sometime, man.
Yeah, of course, man.
We'll bring
there you go. That's
dude,
bringing people together.
I've been following you for a minute. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. I'm subscribed to you twice, 2 times.
They secretly met on comic book.
Yeah, man. Hey, check these.
Oh man.
In mint condition, brother.
He's gonna start drooling on me. Come on, 24, man. He's gonna drool on me.
That was a cool pairing. I didn't read that one, but I asked my Yondu about it. My producer, and he said, yeah, that Green Arrow and Green Lantern, they worked together so well because Green Lantern was so much more powerful than Green Arrow, but he was almost kind of a doofus compared to Green Arrow because Green Arrow had the smarts.
Yeah, you remember these, huh, Keith? Look.
Oh yeah.
Look, I mean, they're in mint condition. Look, there's no cracks, no.
I know. I'm having flashbacks.
I mean,
that looks exactly the way that I saw them on the spinner rack.
Hey, and look, they look like they came fresh off the fucking press, man. Look at this shit, man.
Jesus.
Look at that, man. And that's the thing, man. I'm very picky, man, about, dude, if I'm gonna spend my money, I might as well, fucking spend it right, man. And that's, dude, Keith, you could be having all these motherfuckers, man. And everybody here, dude, this I'm not special, man. I'm just sitting here headhunting for the shit. And guess what? It's all about the thrill of the hunt, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Look, I'm sitting here piecing these collections. Sometimes I might get 4 or 5, maybe I might get 1, but I'm sitting there and I'm just piecing them together, and I ain't spending shit for them, man. And then and, you know, a lot of these dudes, if you get a couple books, they do the combined shipping and all this other shit. Dude,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, man. I got two of these motherfuckers. I just realized. Look at this shit.
I need to.
Yeah,
man.
I
got something that I'm saving for because you know that whole being married and having to afford things. But I'm telling you right now.
And you know what? Look, Keith. This the whole thing, Keith. I don't have any money, Keith. I'm being fucking for real. You're looking at all this shit, and you're looking at a guy that I have to sit here and figure out how I can make the most out of $20.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there and I'm combing through the internet, and I'm finding all these fucking auctions, all this shit, and the thing is, I'm a member of a bunch of this shit because it don't cost to be a member to a lot of these, you know, things, but you just have to look, and it's like hundreds of stores that are involved. It's not just like I'm not getting it from like 5 or 10 guys. It's like so many people that are selling their shits, and the thing is, man, a lot of it they start off at an auction. Some of them start off at a penny. Some of them start off at 99 cents. Look, you can only have so many pair of eyes looking at so much shit. It's all the other stuff that people ain't putting their eyes on. That I'm sitting there and there's an auction going and only one person bids, and I'm sitting there and I'm coming off and I'm spending like $5 for this.
Shit.
I'm spending $5 for some shit like this, man. You know what I'm saying? You understand? This is what I'm talking about, man. So
I recognize that. Look at Keith.
Yeah, man. This is issue number 1.
He's got to pick his jaw up off the floor. Holy shit.
So my whole thing is, you know, for a guy that doesn't have really no money, of course, you know, we got to be responsible. We handle bills or whatever. You know, we take care of our responsibilities first. But then with the little money you have left to play with, you got to make your shit stretch as far as it can go, man. And that's why I'm sitting there and I'm fucking headhunting, you know. And then you can get to the point sometimes where, you know, there's been a couple cats that have hired me to go and search because they don't have the time or the energy to be looking for, you know, shit like this. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the energy. They don't have the energy to find shit like this, paying $4 for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing. Look at it, man. There's no crack. Look, you can see the shit shine off of that shit. Like if it was all beat the fuck up, you'd see it, man. You see the cracks on the spine, dog. There's none of that there, man.
That's amazing.
And look, I'm very picky, man. It's dude. And then that's the thing. If I'm sitting here with no money, and all of y'all probably got more money than me, then if I could sit here with a guy with no money, you know, and I got kids to take care of and everything, so I got a lot of responsibilities, but I have no money to play with. If I could sit here and buy this shit, you guys can have it too. Now, if you want to know how, shit, holla at your boy, and I'd be more than happy to, you know, show you what's up. And look, there's even been like some of my subscribers that have came and say, hey, I like this and I like that, and I've pointed them in the right directions, and they've come out to have good deals. And dude, it's my whole thing is, you know, I want all of us to have this shit, man, not just me. You know, if I could sit there and help you gain a comic book or get what you really want, instead of you trying to spend all this money on some shit that you don't got to spend all that fucking money on, if I can help you save a couple of dollars and get you what you want, then I've done something good, man. So if any one of y'all want to holler at me, DM me, talk to me, man, and holler at me, and hey, this is what I do, this is what I go through, and the steps, and this is how I get it. And I'm sitting there, and there's people that want this shit just as bad as me, but I'm beating them all out when it comes to this shit, man. So, and this is all this shit is shit that I've just gotten, man.
Wow.
So, yeah, man, it's and like I say, look, I even do this. Look.
There he goes. Now, to kind of add on to what he was saying,
look, I want you to look at this here. These are those Green Lanterns I just got through showing you. I'm not gonna dox myself. Look at what you're looking at, man.
Hang
look
on,
how much I'm paying.
Let me blow this up. There you go. I can't read it.
Oh shit.
Oh jeez.
Look, you see those issues, and it look, here it goes, and they're telling you what it is. I don't know if you can hold on, man. Let me look at this better.
It's not real clear on the camera.
You paid about $12 to $15 for almost 10 issues. That would cost you a lot more if collectors were a lot higher up.
I mean, if you look at the prices and you look at the actual names on them, it's telling you what issues they are and how much I paid for them.
Jeez.
Wow.
These are original Green Lantern issues.
But 24.
What's up?
Your whole channel is based on how to score comics for cheap, right? Older issues, right?
Of course.
So then technically all these comics you bought are technically a tax write-off and you can get a claim back to your next taxes if that's part of your business.
Hey, I didn't think about that. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can get all your money back next year if you keep all those receipts.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
I'm doing
Just
it.
keep all your receipts.
Look,
He does.
It's
See, last year I went over to Mile High Comics over in Colorado, and you know that's like a comic book lover's mecca right there, man. I have tons and tons of photos, but what was more impressive was I met the guy who owned the place. And you know, you can think what you will about him. I mean, you know, I've heard the stories, but he was a nice guy, and we got to talking about it, and we were talking about the possibility that comics may cease publication. And I said, well, what would happen to your business model if that happens? He says, well, that's the thing. Most of our inventory comes from buying out old, from comic book shops. Yeah, the back issues from comic book shops and all these other places. That's how he keeps his stock up. So,
hey, you see Mark the Infinitely Tired, right? You see, like he's one of the people. Like if you look what he said.
Yeah, I posted it.
Yeah, and it's like the thing is, I knew that he loved X-Men, so I seen a listing of they were dropping X-Men from like issue 60, like from the 60s, like the original X-Men issue like 60s, like issues going from issue 60 all the way to like issue 120 or 130, all of them going for 99 cents in anywhere from fine to near mint condition. They were all going for 99 cents.
Wow.
And I sat there and I hit Mark the Infinitely Tired that's in our chat right now. And I said, Mark, I sent them a whole link. Look at this shit. And he looked at it and he was like, holy shit, I've never seen. I said, man, there you go. And I was like, bro. And I told him, man, this is how you go about. And there was a certain way I showed him, like you watch my videos, there was a certain way that you go about attacking a auction. That way you could become the winner of that motherfucker every time you deal with that shit. Because the thing is with an auction, you're always trying to one up somebody. You know, somebody pays $1, you put $2, the next person puts $3, somebody else put $4. Fuck all that. You're just wasting your time and you're wasting your money. And what you're doing is you're putting more money. It's like you're putting more money into it, because at the end, if that's something that you really want, you're going to end up spending more, because what you're doing is you're trying to one up everybody on there. What you do is you don't do that. You don't one up nobody. That's not what you do. When you're in an auction, you don't one up anybody, because for the simple fact that if you don't bid, the next person won't bid. So if you don't bid, nobody's bidding. You sit there, and what you're doing is you're waiting for the time to run out. And then at the what matters is the last bid at the last second. All that one up in somebody, that doesn't do shit. All you're doing is you're feeding into it. And if that's something that you want, if you really want it that bad, you're just putting it to something it's going to cost you more at the end. And why would you be stupid enough to do that? So that's not how you do it, man. Only one bid matters, and that's the one at the that's the last bid at the last second. All that shit, one upping everybody and all the way through the bid, you're just wasting your time and you're wasting your money. And that's what it is, man. And at the very end, it's at what you do at the last second of the bid. You put in you put in your price, and that's what you put down. And if you don't win it, then you don't win the bid. But at least you didn't fucking spend your time, you didn't waste your time trying to one up everybody. Because at the end, if that's something that you wanted, all you did was just fuck yourself, because you're just trying to one up the next guy, and all you did was make what you wanted that much more expensive.
Yeah, you drove the price up.
Yeah, man. So fuck all that. All that is it doesn't. Look, I did that a lot, and I stopped one day, and I was like, why the fuck am I sitting here one upping everybody? Because I want this fucking comic book so bad. So once I stopped doing that, if I don't bid, nobody else doesn't bid. But the thing is, none of that shit matters. All that matters is the last bid at the last second. That's it. Because you know what? If you don't win it, you're not going to win it anyway. So why put all that effort into all the shit that leads up to the grand finale when all it is all about the you know, if you're going to cross the line or not. You got to drop that last bid to see if you win. But if you're not one-upping everybody, then basically the bid stays low. That's the whole point, man.
Uh-huh. I've definitely been sniped in auctions.
You keep it inexpensive for yourself, and again, what matters is the last bid that you put at the end. You know, you drop your bid, and me, the way I do it, if there's something that's being bid and the highest bid is $5, I try to do about 3 times the amount of that. So when everybody's bidding 5, I'm bidding 15. Normally, I end up somewhere in the middle, and boom, I win, and I blow everybody the fuck out, man. And I'm the winner, man. That's it. Smart as fuck, man. And like I said, I don't have no money. I don't have any money to play with this shit, man. You know, I'm like everybody else. We got responsibilities, man. But if I got a little money to play, I'm make my money count, and boom, that's what you're seeing me do, man.
Wow, that's fantastic. 24.
It's your boy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the funny thing is, when I first came up with the idea for this, I didn't know how long we would go. I figured, okay, well, you know, maybe if we're lucky,
time, man.
Yeah, I didn't realize you guys would hit it off quite this well. We're almost up to 2 hours, guys. Mm-hmm. So,
well, that's because look. Let me say, you got 24 here dropping knowledge right here, teaching people how to get it done, and again, I've learned a lot from you, young man. So, thank you.
What you could do,
I will have to contact you,
Keith.
Hey, I tell you what, Keith, I've had a lot of respect for you, bro. A lot of respect, man, and it's respect that you've earned a long time ago and didn't know it, man. You know, I watch you. I watch you a lot, and you know, this is my first time really. I've never spoken to him before, so I'm just letting you know.
Comic book roundtable.
Yeah, no, but I didn't get a chance to talk to him, man.
Okay, but I had a brilliant idea for both of you. You're a master at getting old issues in comic books, right? You know the trade, you know how to do the power, you got the fingers and the know-how. Keith is a busy man dealing with family and life. Why doesn't he just hire you on a weekly basis and give you like a certain amount of income or pay you to find the issues he's looking for to rebuild his childhood collection? Hire you as an employee in a way.
Shit, I mean, I would accept a job like that, but
it's just an idea.
I'd be happy to help him anyway, man. So
you know what? We may have to talk about that.
Yeah, man. I would love to, man. It'd be an honor and a pleasure, man. Like I say,
the honor's all mine.
I tell you what, Keith. You know, without you knowing it, Keith, I looked at you as a mentor, bro. And that's not blowing smoke up your ass. It's just watching you for longer than what you think, man. And I'm subscribed to you 2 times. That you know on both accounts. I'm not missing you or your shows, man. And that lets you know that it's some years later, and this is my first time getting a chance to talk to you, man. So that just lets you know, man. You know, you've made that much of
impact.
Yeah, man. You know, it's where I turn on the TV and sitting back and then me and the family are watching you, man. And and that means a lot because you're in my household, man.
No
Keith, shit. I'm being honest, man.
I have one favor.
Thank you. That means a lot to me.
Oh man, like I said,
Keith,
none but respect, man.
On that list that you're looking for that he can help you with, can you just slide in a first appearance Black Suit Secret Wars for me? Just slide it in there.
Ooh, I've got that at home. I've got that.
I hate both of you.
All right, guys. Well, we're closing down on the 9 minutes. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let you guys pimp your channels so that we can get going. We'll start off with Mr. Keith. All right.
Pop Culture Minefield with Gary and I gotta say, working with Fat Steven on Keith chimes in also. We're still handling all that Babylon 5 business, all that nice goodness over there, and
Tickled Trunk is still hitting on you.
But that's what I do, and then I'll occasionally just show up randomly. Usually channels where I'm asked, or people just need to laugh at me for a while. But that's what I do. So that's it. That's all I got.
All right. So now here we go, Mr. 24/7.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy 24/7 here with 24/7 Fusion Media. I drop videos. I'm starting the live stream. Enjoying it. I do the comic book roundtable with Fat Steven and Loki from Loki's Mornings of Mischief, along with Clobbering Times and Eris of Chaos on Tuesdays. Matter of fact, tonight over on Fat Steven Seagal's channel. I love saying Fat Steven Seagal versus the world. I know he calls himself a bunch of other shit, but that's my man. You know, he's always in some shit, and it's him against the world. So I give him that respect. But on his channel, he's gonna have Chuck Dixon on tonight, and that's gonna be some badass shit. It'll be my first time meeting Chuck Dixon. He's one of my comic book heroes, and I will definitely let him know that when I get a chance to talk to him. So it'll be good to actually meet him. There's a couple questions I want to ask, and I know we're gonna have a great time. So please, everybody, come see us at 7:00 Central over at Fat Steven's channel. It'll be 8:00 Eastern.
Yep.
And watch me drill the hell out of Chuck Dixon. Yeah.
That sounds like a porno.
Yeah. Hey. He does have dick in his name. So what can we say?
All right. And last but not least, we got old Fat Steven here. Come on.
Well, I don't know. He just took my whole promotion for my show tonight. So yeah, I'm secretly Fat Jean-Claude Van Damme versus the buffet. Give Ord some love if you know what's going on. Things are getting better. Other than that, I'm going to have Chuck on. 24 is going to be there. A bunch of other people going to be there, like Clobbering Times, and gaming streams in the morning. And I'm going to be on Purple Valkyries tomorrow, docking Funko in my old Funko collection and stuff.
Wow.
And she just downloaded the Fortnite, and she'll be joining us in a morning stream soon, which will be interesting. Yeah. Other than that, thank you for letting me on. Thank you, Keith, for not blocking me yet. And T-shirt. Thank you for putting Crisco on the doorway.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I forgot one thing. Blow that shit up.
Load up. Let's do it.
All right. Well, and this has been me, your T-shirted historian. Like I said, this was kind of an experiment today. I don't know if we'll have more of these or not. We probably will, because this looks like this was a pretty good deal. But other than that, you can catch me regularly on Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. where I have Dungeons and Discussions with Grim, my fellow TTRPG player and writer. And on Saturdays at 6 p.m. Central Time, where I do The Week in Geek, where we usually talk about all the stuff that's happened in pop culture during the week, and we kind of try to be positive and upbeat, but it doesn't always usually work. And sorry, it is what it is.
Right.
But anyway, thank you all very much for hanging out with us today, and y'all take care. Have a great rest of your night.
Peace.
Peace.
I farted.
Uh-oh.